So let me ask you this, both of you.
You know what's funny about Jordan? He's always like, so let me ask you this.
What's the problem with that?
He just takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let me ask you this.
Tonight on.
I want to make sure you guys are listening. If I just ask the question, there's a chance that I haven't got your attention yet. If I say, let me ask you this, I got your attention, and you're ready to hear what I have to
I'll
say.
admit, your voice bores the shit out of me. So there are a lot of times where I'm like, God, that voice, tune it out, tune it out, tune it out. And when you say, hey guys, I have a question, I do open up just a little bit,
So you're
enough
saying-
to hear the squeakiness out of your voice.
So what you're saying is it works.
Yeah, I go from hearing, I'm a little bitch, I'm a little bitch, too. I'm kind of still a little bitch, but I got something to say.
Okay, let me ask something.
Okay.
I think I know your answer. Have either of you guys been to a strip club before?
No, sir. I have not been to a strip club.
Oh, he's not. He's not allowed to say.
Buddy.
With Danielle sitting in the same room as me, I think I have to say I've not been to one. However, the truth is I honestly just have not ever been to one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm with you. Actually, I haven't. I thought this was going to be better because I thought.
I mean,
there was
would
no
I
big
go? Sure.
Bachelor
Would I
party?
go to Eugene Springfield Strip Club and see a couple girls who are some probable fours?
Yeah, that's not a good
Probably
idea.
not.
That's not a good idea.
But no, I do. I have a question with you before Chad answers.
What?
Does more go on that we don't know about?
What do you mean by that?
More in terms of at like in the back.
Well, just we don't need to get vulgar with it.
Yeah.
Would you say more happens?
Of course.
Yeah.
How many
The right-
percent of people?
Don't
So
know.
I think it
the
depends
right
on
dollar
where
amount.
you
I think.
are.
I think the right dollar amount gets anything to happen.
Anywhere?
Like,
From
no,
anyone?
I disagree. I think if you go to a Eugene strip club, actually, I don't know where. Like, I don't know the quality, but I'm gonna guess that's just mid tier, right?
Okay.
I feel like maybe you're not gonna get by with some stuff, but if you travel to a nice L.A. strip club,
Oh, you're thinking nicer is no. I think it's opposite.
sorry, I said nice
No.
just to say that word, but what I mean by that is
Well, that's confusing.
a nice shitty L.A. strip club. That's what I mean.
No, I'm saying you're okay. You're seeing
Like the more run down it is,
Oh.
the more there are in the area, the more likely you are to find one that like doesn't give a shit about anything, and
That's
that's,
what I'm
where
saying.
some shit's gonna go.
Right, I think
so.
that-
In this area where there's not a high volume of strip clubs, I'm guessing since I don't think I've ever actually.
No, there
seen
actually
one.
are a lot.
Oh, are there?
Springfield's like the highest strip club per capita in the country, or something weird. Or maybe that's
You know-
Portland. Maybe that's Portland.
I'm gonna
not a good sign.
say even though I've never gone to one, I would go vice versa.
You think
Nicer
the more there
places
the
are more.
shittier they
No,
are?
no. The nicer the place, the more likely they would, because you get more.
Really?
Because
I
you
feel
get
like
a
it's
nicer
higher
clientele.
brow.
You get a nicer clientele. Dare I say, cleaner clientele as well
That's
as
probably
wealthier
true.
clientele.
That's probably true.
And so, if you're gonna do it anywhere, you do it at a very nice.
But you also think they got to make more money,
point.
just like not doing those things at a nicer place, like like a
Like you
Springfield.
wouldn't have to steep low to get those
like a
extra
Springfield
bills.
where
Yeah.
say there's nobody comes in that day,
Yeah.
and,
So they're
or
offering
and like
some
one guy's
extras.
like, hey, I got 2 G's in my pocket.
Okay,
Right, right.
okay. Well, you're the only seasoned veteran here.
Yes, season.
Yeah,
I
you
went
go
to
often?
one. No, not
I
at
think
all.
he's probably been to the Springfield one to see
No,
his
I've never
girlfriend
have.
probably about
I-
15
I-
times.
oh.
He's like, I know the stat about how many per capita because I've been to all of them a couple times.
Some of my girlfriend's my cousin
he's
that
like,
works there.
I have 3. He's like, I know 3 girls, all of which I'm dating. One's Charity, one's Rainbow, and the other one's Sparkles.
Oh my goodness! No, one time
They're sweethearts, I promise.
we like I was with this group of guys and we met like just this kind of random dude somehow. I don't know how we really got to know him, but it was his birthday and he wanted to go to a strip club in Portland, and there was only a couple of us that were over 21. So we went to this it was kind of grungy 18 and up strip club.
Right.
And it's like a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. We show up we had to pay a cover. It was like $10.
Yeah.
Had the big old X's on our wrists. We show up and we're the only ones there. Like it's a pretty big place. There's like probably 4 stages or 5 stages or something like that. And it's us 5 guys and there's like 8 strippers.
I'm going to
and,
be
like,
honest with you. Wednesday, Thursday night, you got to be pretty low to be just chilling. At
We were there. we were there. It was early. We were there at like 7. You know,
Oh,
it's like-
Oh, man.
Evening crew?
Oh, that is...
It's like,
Hey.
like they were still eating lunch, and then we just showed up like, oh shoot.
They're all sitting
Hey,
there,
I'm
like,
looking.
oh, whoa.
Hey, I'm looking to become a stripper at this joint. Well, based off what I'm looking at, you're probably going to be Tuesdays through Thursdays, Might be able to get you in on a Monday from like 1 to 7.
That's probably an actual conversation.
You know what I
No,
mean?
honestly, it probably is.
Straight
Like,
up.
I'm going to be honest, you're probably going to be 1 to 7 on those time frames. There's not going to be very many people here.
No.
We could probably
Judging by what I was
throw
looking
you out.
at, it was a lot of those conversations. It was like, I mean, I guess I can help you out. We got a spot Thursday, 1 to 7. And she's like, I'll take it. Anyway, so we're there. And like Mike was there, and he's the only one that really knew what he was doing. Like I didn't even know I had to. I mean, I knew I had to bring money, of course. Like, so we like went to this like, we went to the bar and
Chad's
got
carrying his casual 20s and 100s. All the girls are flocking.
No.
He's
I do
looking
have
over at
those.
his other people, and he's like, guys, don't know what it is. They must just see that I make money.
no. So like we go like to the bar, like get like some like ones, and we sit down, and Michael like just starts like he just has the form down. Like there's a certain like dollar bill throw form that like you just have to see to know. I didn't have it. Mine looked like mine looked like I was like trying to do it with the wrong hand or something. But Mike, it was smooth, and he like just does it like he stuffed one of this girl's underwear. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like next level. Anyways, but it's like there's only us, like so they're like giving us all the attention. At some point in time, in between songs, all the strippers are sitting down on the couch with us. Like we're just sitting there talking like, so where are you from? You know what I mean? Like, like how'd you get here? That sort of thing. Like, there's like, oh, well, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this on the side. Like, like just to put food on the table for my kids. And we're like, oh, and then they say like next up on the stage, Candace or whatever. And she's like, oh, that's me. And we're like, oh, and she's just like dancing in front of us now. It was weird. Like we left before 10. Like it was not a
Next
great
up on the
experience.
So who was
stage,
this random
Candace.
guy?
That's me. I'm
Well,
Candace. Candace
there's
is
like-
dancing. So Candace, how old are the kids? Well, they're probably now 4 and 6 now.
Yeah.
One birthday's coming up.
No, it was weird. Like for that very reason. Like we just had a conversation with this girl, and now she's like dancing in front of us. Like it was strange.
That is weird.
Yeah.
This guy that it was his birthday. How well did you guys know?
I personally did not know him well at all. I was just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, how random was this guy?
And it was
What
it
was
his
his
idea?
name?
Is that what he wanted
I
to
think
do?
his name was Brandon.
I think his name was Brandon.
I think that was-
Well, he
I'm
wasn't
gonna,
he wasn't the highlight of the night.
hold on, I'm going to be real right now. If I was to go to my first strip club appearance with whomever, I'm going with someone I know, not the guy that's like, I think his name's Brandon. I want the night to end well. You know
That
what
was
I'm saying?
that was the day that like the plan was like because I was in 21, so like I was gonna like drink a little bit on the way up and like kind of sober up throughout the night, and then Michael was gonna drive home because he was 21, and we had just end up leaving early, and I didn't feel like I was ready to drive yet, so I was like, Michael, like, hey, would you mind driving home? And he drove up there, so he was like kind of pissed. He didn't want to drive both ways. And so like I just kind of talked him into because I'm like effed if I get pulled over, like if I blow 0.01, I'm like I lose my license for whatever. Anyways, Michael ends up driving. We like I swear, like we go around the corner and a cop pulls up behind us and pulls us over, and I'm like dripping in sweat. Like we have like beer in the front seat, like Captain Morgan or something like that, and I'm just like hiding underneath my leg. And Michael, he had been drinking, like he maybe could have like gotten a DUI, and he just like answered all the questions like perfectly. And I was like, whew. It scared the crap out of me.
No way.
Yeah, that was kind of a good culmination of the events. Like I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
That'll give you a nice butt bucker.
I'm like, geez, Michael's gonna go to jail. It's
How
because
many times have you guys been pulled over in your lives?
I've been pulled over 2 times.
I've been pulled over. Can't count.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Well, he remember he was telling us he's gotten pulled. That was actually a crazy story. He got pulled over
I've
like
gotten
once
pulled over-
a day for like a
I wanna
week.
say I got pulled over 8 days in a row.
Why?
By the same cop, because I would go to Danielle's, stay there till like 1 or 2, and then drive home super early in the morning before Greg went to work.
Yeah.
So my mom and Greg didn't know I stayed over at her house,
How early? Like 4 a.m. ish.
like 2-3 a.m.
Okay.
And so I would leave her house, and a cop would pull me over at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And for the first couple times, he kept saying it was my license plate light.
Yeah.
And he said that for like I want to say actually like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then and this was like back to back days, and I was like, yeah, you pulled me over yesterday. I haven't got it fixed yet. And I was like, again, I still haven't got it fixed. Like I can't get it fixed within a week. I got to go up there, blah blah, make an appointment. And I was like, why do you keep pulling me over? And then I think it was probably like the 6th time or 7th time, like right in there. I don't remember exactly how many times it was, But like 6th or 7th time, he pulls me over and I go, yeah, let me get out. Let's go look at it right now because I heard it's not broken. And he's like, no, you're fine. Do you know how to get out of your car? You're good. And I was like, stop pulling me. I like blew up on a cop. I was like, you need to stop pulling me over. This is harassment. This is bullshit. Like I started freaking out on him.
Yeah.
And he just literally like got in his car and drove away. And then I went home and he stopped pulling me over overnight.
I literally hoping he was going to catch you that one night, thinking you were going to, mess up.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's annoying.
Technically, I probably could have been called past
your curfew.
Past my curfew.
Oh, it was like before 6 months or something.
I don't remember.
I think it's just a 6-month rule, isn't it?
Is it only 6-month rule? That's what I'm saying. I don't
6
remember.
months between when you got your license?
Yeah, it's like
Or
you
is it
can't
when-
I thought it
drive.
was your age. I thought it was like if you were under 18.
And I would have been
Oh,
over
was that
18.
it?
Yeah.
I would have been over 18, so that would be good, right?
Yeah. Oh, if you were, then I think you should be fine.
Yeah, I would have been over 18. My 18.
But I think
my
there's technically a
comparison.
curfew for adolescents or something like that.
Yeah.
At least
And so yeah, I would have been. I wasn't. Maybe he. Yeah, that was one of the things too. Now that I brought that up, he did say it was past my curfew a couple of times. I was like, no, I'm over 18. Like I don't have a curfew.
But
anymore.
like, why is that even a thing?
I don't know
I
because
understand
I
safety,
look
yeah.
close
Like-
to the age, so you can pull me over.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
A similar thing like that happened to me once, but it obviously wasn't as drawn out as yours because it was only a one-time thing. But I got pulled over, and it wasn't my car, and he was like, "Oh, your tags are expired," and he's like, "It's really late at night." He's like shining his flashlight at me and all this stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, it's not my car. I didn't know." And he's like, "Oh, whose car is it?" So I have to explain. He's like asking me like for the contact information of the person whose car it is because he's gonna call him right then. It's like 1 a.m.
Right.
Not a good idea to be calling this.
Whose
guy.
car was it?
It was my ex's dad's at the time.
Okay.
And so it's 1 a.m. And then he gets that contact information, goes back to his car, calls him, and he comes back and he's like, "Oh, looks like your story checks out." And then I just drove the rest of the way. And then when I get there, the tags weren't expired; they were expiring the next month, so they weren't even expired.
Huh.
So it was kind of like that, like he just pulled me over,
Right.
I'm assuming made up an excuse, right? And then like just was looking for something. I'm assuming once I, said it wasn't my car, that's in his mind. He's like, "Oh, I might be able to get him for something, like,
Yeah.
whose car is this, Because I could have been lying. I could have been just a lying kid. But yeah, it was just annoying. Cause
I've never had an experience like that.
It was only a one-time thing, but
Yeah.
I've also written a letter and got a letter back saying you have won the court case between Mr. Clack and Officer so and so.
Clack first.
You want to? Yeah, literally, it was
Clack
incredible.
versus Officer.
You know how pumped I was. I was like, let's go. I should have got it framed. Should have it pulled up right now on the
Do you
wall
still
right
have
now.
it?
Somewhere maybe. I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
have
I
it.
don't care.
He doesn't
Take a
have
picture
it.
of it.
Probably not.
What was the ticket for?
I got a speeding ticket. And it was complete BS.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't happy. And then I actually have gotten a speeding ticket now, but that was shortly after that one.
Yeah.
Was that the only time you've gotten pulled over?
No, I got pulled over one other time than that, and it was because I actually got a ticket. But this one was a completely different experience. The cop was like super nice because the cop caught me on my phone. I drifted from one lane to another because I was looking at the phone.
Oh, yeah.
And I was speeding. I was going 70 and a 55. Pulls me over, and he's like, I like shoved my phone away. Like, it's not even near me, right? Because I don't want him to look in it and see I was obviously on it. He comes in there, he's like, "What are you doing, bud?" He's like, "You're going 70. I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
what are
I
you
know."
doing, Chief?
I was like, "I know." Like, I wasn't gonna deny it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call him on it. And he was like, "Where are you going?" So I'm telling him where I'm going. And he's like, "Well, you can't be going that fast." He's like, "Were you on your phone?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, I have my music on my phone. Like, so I look at it sometimes when I have to like change the station or like the thing."
Right.
And he's like, "Were you like actually looking at it or like what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, I was looking at my phone. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was looking at my phone."
Yeah.
Because the other thing is that what I hadn't realized is that I knew there was somebody behind me for like about a mile on just this pitch black highway, right? And then it turned out to be a cop. So when I get pulled over, I know, oh, this guy's been following me for a while. There's no getting by him.
Right,
It's not
right.
like he just pulled up on me and happened to see me going 70
Right.
and didn't see anything else. So in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm not going to lie, because I don't know what's going to happen if I lie and he knows I did this shit, right?
Right.
So anyway, he takes all my stuff, goes back to his car, comes back, and he was like, "Hey, thanks for like being really cool about it. Like you seem like you have your head on straight. You just like slipped up." He's like, "I didn't give you a ticket for speeding. I didn't give you a ticket for being on your phone. But I did give you a ticket for failing to stay in your lane because I can't let you not get anything right now because I got a camera on my car." He said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's fair."
Right.
For like $180 or something like that, as
Yeah.
opposed to whatever, on
Oh,
your
that
phone
stuff
is. He
would've
told
been-
me what the number is and how it's like really a bad offense or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, thank you, sir." And then I
Being
left.
on your phone is like $500
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a time. 1,000 or 2,000 second time. Third time's like 5 G's and 6 months up in possibility up in jail.
What's crazy is
Right,
I bet that like being on your phone might be a more broken law than speeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what do you mean by broken?
I mean, I would say the catch rate is so much lower. Like everybody's on their phone while they're driving. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's bad habit. All the time. Oh, it's a terrible habit.
Like when that happened,
the worst.
obviously the rest of the drive, and then the next drive, and then probably for like a couple days after that, I was like so adamant about not being on my phone.
Right.
And then of course, that's not gonna last.
You know, Connor's really bad at it. But it's funny, like, you know, you say you're like, I don't know, you're looking at your phone, you know, okay, you're texting or something like that, or I'll scroll through Instagram or like watch Snapchat stories. It's bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then like
I'm usually doing nothing important.
Something
something important.
But like something will happen where like, you know, it kind of flashes through your mind like, oh man, if I wasn't paying attention for like
100%.
like 5 seconds, like something could easily happen. Then like you'll throw your phone away or like throw in the back seat or like
yeah.
you know, something
You're like F that.
right. Yeah, like, I'm
just
just
the rest of the time.
not gonna be me. It's like then the next time it's like
you're doing it.
yeah. Well, my craziest like, Jay, I don't know if I've told you. I know I've told Connor. My craziest like, just like law enforcement story was I was driving through Texas with my buddy. Like he was moving to Florida.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason,
cocaine on him.
it wasn't cocaine. It was pot. Like he thought it was such a great idea to buy like cheap weed in Oregon, and try to sell it in Florida because it's like it's legal here. It's so cheap, and I don't know what the prices are. I have no clue what that is. But anyways, he had some like large amount of weed in his trunk of his car. Okay, and I'm driving the car.
You're driving his car.
I'm driving his car. We were taking turns going back and forth.
Okay.
Anyways, we're driving through southern Texas, like El Paso, right on the Mexican border. I mean, like it's right there. You can look across and see the lights in Mexico.
Right.
And there's like an immigration checkpoint.
Okay.
And we're pulling up on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's in the trunk. I'm not aware. And there's drug dogs out, like they're sniffing around, like people are laying on the ground, like their cars are getting searched, all like crazy stuff.
Wait, so you just said as of right now you don't know what
I'm not aware what's in the
you
trunk.
literally didn't know about his whole idea
Nope.
to buy the weed.
I knew nothing.
Oh my!
Anyways,
so what are you thinking? Just this sucks.
yeah.
It's gonna take some time.
No, I was just like,
We're
I mean,
fine.
no, I didn't think it was gonna take time. Like, there's no line or anything. I'm just like, we're just gonna cruise on through. Like, hey, how you doing? Anyway, my buddy starts slapping me on the chest. Like, I mean, like bruising my chest. And he's like, Chad. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I've got like, I don't know, a gram. Is that a lot?
I don't think so.
I'll get. It was maybe it was bigger. I don't know. It was a fair amount.
Okay.
He's like, I've got whatever in my trunk. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I could have cried. Like, like I'm effed. I'm driving the car. Like that's like the felony. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was so pissed. Anyways, we pull up in this guy. Like, and I only had like 3 seconds to think about this because we were right there.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just staring this dude in the face, probably like dripping in sweat. And the guy's just like, hey, are you U.S. citizen? And I was like, yes, sir. He's like, okay, have a good night. And just cruise on by.
So the people that were on the ground, what was up with them?
I mean, maybe they were on foot or something. I don't know what their deal was. I wasn't going to stop around and ask. I can tell you that. But dude, I was so mad at my. Oh my goodness, dude!
Too.
It was so nerve wracking for that short amount of time. Like, I'd still be in jail right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know what happens in that type of situation.
Me neither.
But I think
It's not good.
Like not as bad thing for you is that it wasn't your car, even though you were the driving. So you're gonna have the biggest takeaway. Like, it's gonna be your fault no matter what. But like it is, I think I'm assuming it would be a little bit lighter because of the fact that it wasn't your car.
Well, and I would hope my buddy would have one hell of a testimony on. He had no clue what was going on.
Well, is he the kind of guy that would take an 110% blame of it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no 50-50. It's not like I'll take half the sentence, you take half the sentence. Like, we're both in jail for 20 years, or I don't know what the deal is, but you know what I mean. It's like yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
You hear this guy? He's like practically a drug lord over here.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
He's got some
I
serious.
bet you he had a couple pounds of marijuana in the back of his car.
No, it's
he's
like
hiding it.
I've never been more.
He still doesn't want to act.
Never was more happy to be a white male in my life.
Oh, that's 100% why.
Just
That's
like,
why.
I'm
assuming that's why it was so easy for you.
No, I had my hair slicked back, Little pocket.
U.S. citizen. Yeah. All right. See ya.
Little
Tom.
pocket protector. Tape on my glasses. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah. What was your buddy White too?
Yeah.
Do you have a good drug story, Jay?
A good
Doing
drug
them
story?
or being around them?
So I have zero good doing drug stories.
None of us have really done them, so
Yeah.
I would assume I meant being around it.
I have stories. I don't know if they're good.
I mean,
So-
you should know if it's good or not.
When I
Is it worth telling?
so okay, here we go. When I started
not
going
gonna be
to San Jose State, yeah, it's not that good. So keep in mind, I'm entering college, and I had never done any drugs or anything like that. But I also wasn't even necessarily around them first person, ever. I don't want to say maybe once or twice in my life in high school or something like that. But so I get to college, and the way our dorm was set up is that we have 8 people live in this dorm. It's kind of like a suite type of thing. There's 4 different bedrooms, a common area. Well, you just obviously get randomly assigned to one of these other 7 peeps, right? So the one guy that I happen to get assigned to is this guy whose name I'm obviously not gonna say, but just the biggest pothead on earth, and he just has 4 different bongs. He has I don't even remember what it's called, but there's a certain setup where you dab with the wax stuff.
I don't know.
I'm just getting the biggest education in drugs at this point because I have no idea what anything is. Now I know the most about anybody,
Right.
And but no, he went hard with that stuff, every single day type of a situation. It was uncomfortable. It was a shitty freshman year, I will say, just because of stuff like that. I kind of had to lay the what's it called?
Lay down the law.
Lay down the law, yeah. Or lay down the hammer, isn't that something?
You've never done either of those.
Wait, is that the term? Though?
Based off your lack of knowledge of how to use that, you've
I think I laid down the hammer. I don't know.
I had to drop the log.
Based off of that, you've never done either, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
No, that's it. That guy also, I remember he did cocaine a couple times, and that was the first time any of our people in our suite even knew anybody that did that first party that came back from partying. He was all fucked up.
Jeez.
But now I don't have any crazy drug stories.
Do you?
Just
I mean, I just not really. I just had the one where my buddy was slinging coke to pay for rent.
oh yeah,
As the backup plan.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's making good
You
money.
should try to get a cut of that.
I mean, I did. He paid rent for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got a good cut.
I don't have any good drug stories, but
I mean, you just had a good one.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But kind of like Jay, it was coming out of high school, I didn't no exposure,
Not really around
and I was at this party at one time, and just me and my friend are peeing in the back of this house, behind the house, in the yard.
You guys,
yeah.
are you pissing on the house?
We're kind of in the corner where the house meets the fence.
Yeah, and you're pissing on the house?
Sure.
It's kind of fucked.
It was raining, maybe.
It makes it better.
rinse.
Makes it better.
Anyways, we're kind of looking through this bedroom window, and there's this old dude in there with 2 younger girls. There's an old guy, he's probably 30.
Yeah.
And these girls are 20, our age, younger. And he just has a mirror out, and is just kind of handed these girls the mirror with some cocaine on it.
What?
And I mean, a token dollar bill rolled up. And I mean, I was like, what? This is I didn't even know it was an actual thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was kind of crazy.
And how old is this guy?
He was 30 something. He was significantly older. I don't know if it.
How did he stumble his way into it?
I'm not sure how that happened, but it was strange. It was just, that was my first time ever seeing anything like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Just this 35-year-old,
Yeah.
you're gonna do 3 of these before we talk again.
Also, what was weird, that same party, I bought a 12-pack of PBR, just for me or whatever, or not for me, but just that I had bought.
Yeah.
And I shoved it behind all these bushes. I was like, oh, this is prime spot for hiding this.
Yeah. Wait, you hit it because you don't want anybody else to drink it?
Correct. Because
Okay.
I mean, if you're carrying around a thing, everybody's gonna be
everybody's
no,
snagging
it's
one.
just so annoying.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was perfect hiding position. Couldn't see it at all. I come back and they're all gone, and the box is out on the yard. How did people even find this stuff?
Maybe
They watched you put it there.
somebody was paying.
Maybe
Yeah.
it may have been maybe somebody watched me put it there through the bedroom window. Maybe it was Coke guy, but I mean, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Bravo to the guy who did that. What a real cocksucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, he just
this
struck the
kid
gold
clearly just put 11 beers over here.
Right.
Let's go ahead and take all those and leave the box.
He was probably just the most popular guy at the party for a minute. Hey, what's a beer?
I feel like some
found
PBR. See, I feel like if you show up to a party, and you go, I felt some PBR. They'd be like, fuck you, dude. No one wants that piss. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I feel like that's probably pretty equivalent to what would take place. So, going on to the drinking, because most videos would probably fall under that category. Do you guys have a moment or a true actual video of something that has taken place in your life that if it was captured would win funniest home videos?
That's a good question.
Because I have one.
Do you?
You do?
And it was on video, and we could never find the tape. So I was at my buddy's lake,
Okay.
and it's just like this simple lake, right? And I'm not an outdoorsy guy.
You are?
I'm not an outdoorsy guy.
Okay.
And they had like little logs to sit on the ground,
Yeah.
and they were in a placement of where like a tree would be.
Yeah.
And they were like not in like a circle to sit on or anything. They were just by themselves.
Yeah.
And so I assumed that they had cut the tree and left like a little stump, right? That's not the case, by the way. They were completely loose.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just a little like 11-year-old, underwear and life jacket on, and I'm not kidding you. We're getting filmed by my friend's mom. I look back at her and I go, Jody, watch this! Dead sprint, jump on the log, try to do a front flip. Log comes out from under me. I don't hit water. I hit ground. I fall into the lake off the bank.
Yeah.
The log rolls on top of me. And in the video, you watch it all, and all you hear is, ow! And then you see the log hit, and you hear, ow! Again, a second time. And they watched it over and over for the longest time, and they like misplaced the tape, and we could never find it. And our it was always an inside joke, just like, man, we really got to just turn this in, because that would win right there.
Hey, Jody, watch this.
Oh, it's straight
Yeah,
up.
such a good
Jody,
stuff to it.
watch this, and then just dead sprint and log comes out from under me, and I literally think about going to do a front flip and just not landing where you want to land.
Oh, yeah.
You just miss the water completely. That's what I did, and the log just landed right on like my stomach balls area. Just like right into the lower
How old
guy.
are you?
Like 10 or 11.
Oh, okay.
I was young.
I have
So
one.
it was probably VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have one similar, and it was like probably that same age range. And let me play the scenario for you. So I was at my buddy's house, and he has this old barn, and the barn had like this swing on it. That was like one of those children's swings that had like the little lock that you'd push down in between your legs, like the
Oh,
Fisher
yeah.
Price. I don't know if it was Fisher
Can I
Price.
just say something?
Yeah.
Oh,
You be-
you get stuck in it?
No.
You being from Triangle Lake, the epitome of any funny story you're ever going to tell will always start out my buddy's
Out my
buddy's
barn down there by the creek.
Out in the barn over there, we had a great old time. We used to go cow tipping. Like, I
Mom
feel
was
like-
down there washing up down the creek.
I feel like every story has to start out with that right there.
Anyway, so we're at this barn, and the game was like one of us would sit in the swing. We had to kind of like toss the ball to the other person. They would kick it, and then the person got to stay on the swing until the kicked ball was caught by the pitcher, if you will.
Right.
Pretty simple.
I feel like they were there for a long time.
Yeah, but you had to you could be cheap with it. You could throw it at them and just let it bounce off their body, then you could catch it. So we would drill each other in the face. It was anyways. So the swing was for a child, and we're probably early teenagers.
Yeah.
So we didn't know how much weight this thing could support. Anyways, but
Don't
we were
lie,
just
buddy. You were 18 at this time.
no, I wasn't 18. I was probably 22.
Grown old Chad just sitting here. Push me, Johnny. Push me.
Anyways, so my buddy's dad was walking by, and he sees us, and he's kind of warning us, hey, I don't know if I'd trust that swing, right? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So he brings this mattress pad out, this big old mattress pad, and puts it underneath the swing. And he's like, just in case, just to be safe. So we're playing, not giving it a thought. I'm on the swing, and at one point in time, half of this swing, one of the ropes gives away. Yeah. And I go flying and just smash my face on this concrete slab, and I just missed my ankles landed on this pad that he put down, and my face just boom crushes on the thing, and I'm like half crying, half laughing as my buddies run over to me. Yeah. And I'm like, good thing we had that pad. And like, you know, it was just like in the moment. Was like so funny. I think it would have probably been a potential winner.
I got 2 more. You got any good ones?
I'm trying to think, but like I really think I only have one, and it's not that good.
You keep thinking.
It was the first time.
Does Jay have any good stories?
Hey, I don't mess up a lot. That's all I gotta say about that.
That's fair.
It was the first and only time that I've ever been ice skating, and I went out there, and the girl I was with at the time, like, I was like straight up, like, I don't know how to do this. Like, I've never done this. So like, you got to guide me or what?
I bet he said that.
She's just spinning circles around him.
Hey,
like,
on the ice,
he said that to her multiple occasions.
I have no clue. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
We're just gonna take it slow, and see what happens.
You're gonna have to teach me along the way.
Yeah, you guys are idiots. So we get on the ice, and she like just immediately sends it. Like I'm thinking like we're gonna like just be right next to each other. You know, I'm gonna like hold on to her if I have trouble or anything like that. We're gonna make a couple laps, and we're gonna have a good time. Well, we get on, and she just sends herself. She's gone. She's across the whole ice thing, and it's pretty big ice.
I'm still thinking about Connor's scenario.
So now I'm just standing in the ice, like I don't know what to do. So then I start to go, and I get about halfway, like I just start drifting, like I'm get like halfway into the middle of the thing. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. And meanwhile, there's also little kids that know what they're doing. There's also like, the little kids who don't know what they're doing, and they're using like little stands. And the whole time I'm thinking, I wish I had one of those stands. Right. But I can't do that. And so
that's like me every time I go bowling. Hey, can I get bumpers? Yeah. Nah, man, we don't need bumpers. Fuck, I need bumpers. Yeah, God damn it.
Damn it. I wish I had that. Yeah. No, I mean, but it was.
You just look back. Anybody need bumpers?
Anybody else need bumpers?
Hey, I heard bumpers are more fun than not having them. Yeah. Just saying what I heard.
Yeah. And then we were on the ice for probably like 10 minutes or something like that, and then we were like going. Didn't fall the entire time. Get right to like the door, or the little opening where you were gonna do it, and like as I reach out, I fall and like hit my face like on the like step that you're about to like get off of the ice and get on the thing. And so it's shitty because like I made it 99% of the way without falling, and then right when I'm about to leave, then I fall. That was probably the only like AFV type moment where you're like falling and hurt yourself.
It's got to be like an injury. It's got to be like a face smack. It's got to be.
So first and foremost, I told my best one first, so they don't get better as I go. Fair warning now. So I was really young, and my brother has 7 to 8 years, depending on the time frame, on me. We used to play football with his buddies. I started when I was like 1 year old. I would be the running back. They would be on their knees, and they would just tackle me, and that was the game. They never were on offense. Yeah. That was the game, right? Just hit Connor as many as you can. Well, one time my brother tackled me through drywall when I was literally like 1.5. Missed the stud by like a foot. I was bawling my eyes out, ran away, blah, blah, blah. Well, I waited, and I waited. Like
first of all, let's talk about 1.5-year-old Connor running away after being tackled through drywall.
I mean,
you were 1.5?
Yeah, 1.5 too. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's different. 2, I can see it.
Well, hold on. Just wait. You're going to really know how young I was based off the second part of the story. So as I had to be with an older brother, I had to pick my my moments of when I can get payback and when I can do things, right?
Yeah.
So I personally, waited. My brother fell asleep.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I decided it's a great time to piss on my brother. That's what this is right now. Well, my dad had been following me the entire time, luckily, because if not, I'm probably dead. But I just go, middle of the floor? Why not?
What do you mean your dad's been following you? He's like,
my dad knows what I'm doing. He's like, why are you going down there? Like, he just tackled you through drywall. You're pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just walk on down there, get all, look left, look right, get all pretty close, pull down the pants, start peeing. I get like up his leg, and as I start getting up my leg, my brother wakes up and just is ready to kill me. My dad picks me up and holds my brother back. And I was ready to go full force right on the face. I was ready to get payback. I bet that would probably have been pretty funny to watch on there.
Yeah, that would be funny.
The only other one I have of me would be the my brother. Again, he was older than me. We used to go down to the field and shag balls for him. He would hit off a tee, and my dad used to stand by me. Because I was, again, 1.5, 2, just running after grabbing the ball, and that's it, right? Like one ball, and that was my job. And my brother crushes one the opposite way he was supposed to hit him. We would always focus on hitting him to one side of the field. My brother hit one the wrong way or whatever. And my dad's like, I got to go get it. And he goes, Connor, you stay safe. And he yells at my brother, don't you dare hit one at your brother. Keep him away from him. My brother hits just a line drive right at me, one hopper right off the forehead, puts me down to my back, and my dad's probably 100 feet away from me, just dead sprinting me. Connor, are you okay? And I'm just looking away. I'm looking in the opposite direction so no one can see me. And he gets closer and closer, and he just keeps yelling, Connor, are you okay? And I turn around, clearly with tears in my eyes, and I'm pissed. And I just go, there's no crying in baseball, Dad! just little kid Connor trying to be a tough one, You're
pissing on your brother's leg story. Kind of reminds me of, like, do you guys ever do just, like, dumb stuff in, like, overnighters in sports? Like, Jay, did you ever play, like, for, like, tennis? Did you guys ever go, like, on tournaments where you had to stay overnight or something?
Only once or twice.
Really?
Just because our like general conference.
But like for football and stuff.
Far. Football, no, we never traveled and stayed anywhere.
I mean, Connor, you guys had to.
You guys have a lot bigger radius.
That's
here
fair.
In terms of like how
and
far
I think it's just smaller schools also.
We actually never stayed anywhere in terms of like high school or middle school sports. It was only traveling sports.
Okay.
Our trip to Brookings was hell because we would leave at 10 a.m. get there at
but never any like tournaments or anything?
12:30. We didn't have high school tournaments.
We would always go if we had a tournament. It would be it was always within driving range where you would go.
Yeah.
You'd have to come back and then get up early again that next day, go, and then sometimes if it's a third day tournament, you're doing that. You're making the commute every single day.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, well we had many, like a couple a year where we'd go like stay overnight in a hotel or something like that.
Right.
And for whatever reason it just became the common thing to pop the lock on the bathroom door when somebody's showering. Yeah. And just start like peeing on them while they were in the shower until they noticed. Like they wouldn't know.
If they were taking a hot shower, do they notice?
This is the only thing you'd ever hear about in Triangle Lake, right here. Yeah, one time I popped the lock on my buddy and I'll piss all over him. He was in the shower and I was ragging my dilly all over him. Just said.
There was other stuff like no, that's a term. There was other stuff fill up like a bucket of ice water and dump it on like that. Okay, that's
brother.
Yeah, hold on. That's much different than I was pissing on my buddy.
Okay, that happened too. Anyways, so it never happened to me. Like I was always very aware. When first of all, like it kind of more so happened like the JV kids than like the varsity guys. You know what I mean? Unless it was like varsity on varsity, then that was okay. But anyways, never happened to me. But I was always very aware about it. Like I was like staring at the door while I was like
showering. Perked up.
Oh, for sure. Anyways. So
Chad showered, no curtains.
Yeah, I'm just standing there.
He took them off.
Just standing there.
Just like,
not even showering.
Is it Tide? Is it Tide Man?
No. He wasn't like that.
Oh, no, it's Mr. Clean.
No. He had one hand on his gun, ready to get pee on them.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get him fully clothed. Watch this. They're gonna really hate me.
Anyway, so my buddy Hayden, I don't know, it's him, but anyways, I hear somebody like trying to get in the door, right? And I just like put my hand on it, stop it, like I'm like, hey, you got me, whatever, Anyways, lock the door again. Well, then they wait like a few minutes and do it again, and this time I'm out of the shower, but I left the water running. So they pop the lock, and I kick the door, like boom, and he like is poking his head like in.
Slam his head?
Like he just like I didn't slam his head. I didn't slam it in between the thing, in between the door jamb and the door. But the door came and just smacked him right in the head, and it was so funny. Oh, it was hilarious. That was the same time in which I had a broken wrist, and he kept on wanting to wrestle me. He's like, "Come on, let's wrestle." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know if I can." So then, I eventually just did, just because I didn't even know my wrist was broken. We just did it. And then after he felt bad. Similar story. This is also pretty good. Actually, this was probably funnier than that one. I was going to my cousin's house one time early in the morning, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And when I'd go to my cousin's house, we'd always just play video games all day, like NCAA football, 2005. We just play it all day long, which that needs to make a comeback, by the way.
Wait, 2005?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Is that what's his name from Boise State on the cover?
It was. No, that's 2006. Or actually, it might have been 2007. 06 was Charles Woodson. 07 was Kellen Moore, I think.
05 was Carson Palmer. No, it was a 4.
Could have been. Anyways,
I don't know.
No, 03 was Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
But anyways, that was our routine. We would just play college football.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I opened the door to his room, and there's I can't open the door, and I'm slamming it. I was probably 9 or 10. I'm putting my body weight on this door, right? Over for a good solid 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I look down, and he has a friend sleeping on his floor, and I'm pounding this door into his head. Like just doom, and he didn't. Well, I probably knocked him out. That's probably why I didn't wake up. But it was so funny, and I saw him, and just my eyes were wide. I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
did you shut the door and go sleep on the couch?
Absolutely. And it was never spoken of. He was like, popped on and said, "Hey, Andrew, how's it going? Good to see you." You know, like he had no clue.
Oh, that's awesome. Woke up with a fat headache. Like,
I was like, oh my goodness.
God, I slept terrible. We're going to talk about the NCAA football, but I got one more story. It's not of me, and I told you this story the other day, but a story that would have won for sure is the story of the day Garrett Rudy lost his tooth. So
if your story starts with this was the day so and so did so and so, you know it's a legendary story.
Oh, this is a good story. So we used to play a game at baseball practice called Gold Glove. What Gold Glove was is everyone on the entire team, no matter what the position they played, would go to third base or shortstop, and the coach would start hitting ground balls to each person. And after it would go through once, if you made a mistake, you were out of the game. As you kept going through, the ground balls got harder and harder and harder, right? Okay. And the deal is if obviously it's an uncatchable ball, it doesn't count. But if you dive and touches your glove, it counts. Okay. And then you also have to make a clean throw to the catcher. And our catcher's name was Garrett Rudy. He was at home plate. He would catch it and give it back to the coach, right? So we were playing, and we had a first baseman / pitcher by the name of Tate, who was like a goofy lefty, right? Mm-hmm. And we were
shout out to Tate.
We were actually at third base this day, and we were down to probably about 7 total people, and
he can't even get the story out.
And
wait, have you heard this?
No.
Tate fields a ground ball, and throws a ball, and it bounces short and hits home plate and bounces up and hits him right in the mouth, knocks out his front tooth. And all we hear, we're like, oh shit, right? Like we're watching it happen, all of us. Right. As it hits his mouth, he throws his catcher's glove down and yells, "Call my dentist! Call my dad! Call my mom!"
I've heard
and
this.
we just immediately roll to our back. He just yelled, "Call my dentist!" And we're just dying. He ends up skid on his hands and knees, like shuffling through the dirt trying to find his tooth.
Did he find it?
I don't think so, but goddamn, it was so much. It was so funny.
So does he have a fake tooth as of right now?
Yeah.
Oh, he has a fake tooth.
Yeah, like one of the ones that are on the retainer.
Oh, on the retainer, yeah.
Oh. I mean, he may have got it fixed since then. That was a long time ago.
Right.
But I mean, just the fact that he call my dentist first thing, like that's what pops into your head.
Way of saying, instead of "Hey, that got my tooth," that was him just urgently saying,
"Go on, dentist." That's one of those that I just feel like would have been absolutely hysterical.
Right.
We'll rewatch it on video.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I feel like I got so many more.
It's like they kind of come to me
I
as.
probably do have some like good ones, but I just don't.
Thinking off the top of your head's tough.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this NCAA football. How bad does that need to come? Would that not be the most selling game of all time?
And first of all, it has to be EA Sports or a big
Supposedly
time.
one's coming out next year.
Yeah, we'll
2K.
see.
I don't know if you remember, but like obviously 2K is a lot bigger now than it was when they were making those games. But there was also there was always a very big difference between EA's version of NCAA football and 2K. I don't know what.
Even like
bad at football.
I know.
I even think it
I remember
took.
we had 2K like 01 or something like that, and Eric Crouch was on the covers.
Okay.
Wow.
Even like I feel like NBA Live versus 2K. Like NBA Live was more popular than 2K for a long time.
It was, and I had NBA
Live.
Live. And not
NBA
2K,
Live was
2K was
so much
bad.
better.
I think like 08 09 was when it kind of flipped. Yep.
I wonder why they just magically got better all of a sudden.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's like, was there a feature that
I want to say because it was the graphics and the movement that was always just so bad with 2K.
Yeah,
and NBA Live was
and NBA Live had like dunk contests. They had they had a 3-point shootout. Like they had maybe more stuff.
They did have that kind of
They
stuff.
could have had a better career.
All
mode.
I'm saying is recruiting was hands down the best part of it.
Oh, it was so much fun.
I could literally.
But even
never
just
play
the gameplay itself.
The game was fun.
Yeah.
Mostly because I would like to think most people are bigger fans of college football
Also,
in terms of fandom.
Well, especially when you factor into the fact that one, they have all FBS teams, but they also have FCS, so it's easy to get bored of Madden because there's 32 teams.
Yeah.
You play NCAA football, you have,
Right.
you have
dude.
over 200 options. Of
Who was your
It's
team?
Fun that way.
Who was your team?
Mississippi Valley State. We're going to the chip every
through
time.
Many phases.
Okay.
So
Who?
Nebraska was the first one.
Okay. Yeah,
I was
your
a
big
Cal
school.
fan for most of my childhood.
Okay.
Obviously before I came up here.
Yeah, back when you had Downies.
North Carolina, I used a lot just because I like North Carolina basketball, so I loved even Carolina football. It could have been any of those.
Okay.
Did you have an obscure team that you used?
Oh,
I always like to create teams though.
I didn't. Oh, I hated doing that. It took too much
loved
time.
that.
Kent State, baby, was always a great
State.
one.
Kent State.
See, you're like me. It's like I want to take the team with all D's.
Chippewas.
Yeah.
Put
Akron
a
Zips.
put a
Zips.
corner playing QB. Just run the speed option the whole time.
Well, I didn't cheat the system.
I didn't cheat the system either.
Were you guys a speed
in a
option,
corner at
power
quarterback?
option, or triple option?
Speed
guy?
option.
I liked the
None.
power. And I'll
Wasn't
tell you
an
why. Because I
option
like.
guy.
Huh? You weren't an option guy in general?
No.
Oh, really? So you can't underestimate the triple. The only problem is the triple's an issue.
It's just
with the
slower.
blitz.
Yeah, it's just
It takes
slow.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
Speed's great because you get going.
Right.
But also sometimes you need some blocking to develop. If speed's
Right.
sometimes too quick. That's why I like the power. You get a little bit of stutter and then you're off.
See, I think that's why the gameplay of NCAA football is more fun because Madden. I think maybe they do now. I haven't played Madden in a long time, but they didn't. You couldn't pitch for a long time.
Yeah, I remember they had that.
Okay, did they?
Got rid of it, and then they brought it back.
That was just like
Because for a while, in NCAA and also in Madden, there was a always live pitch button. No matter what, whether
Right.
there was a guy able to receive
Yep.
it
Yep.
or
Yep.
not,
You just
Yep.
you
throw
could do
it.
it and you
Right.
would get rid of the ball. And I loved that.
and it made it much more fun to play with like two players on the same team because like one guy's running QB, one guy's running halfback,
that's sick. You
run
have
the
to
option.
follow him nicely,
Yeah,
get
exactly.
ready
Like,
for
well,
the-
I mean, you would just no. What you would do is you just wouldn't touch your controller.
Let the computer take
until
you there.
Yep, until the ball was being pitched, and then you just
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. But Madden, you can't do that. It really can only be if you wanted to have both guys involved. It's one guy's QB, one guy's receiver, or something like that.
Now that
And that's
now
tough.
that these games
Yeah.
are coming out as free and things like that, it's going to be really hard for me to actually purchase a game for $60, especially. Like it's going to get really, really tough for me to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
And so I can
Also,
promise
with the
you
online
that.
features of even those games that we were talking about there, like Madden, I remember when I was younger, the main reason why it was like, oh, you have to get the new one is one, if there was a team that was updated, like they got new uniforms or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the other one was because, I want the rookies in the game, and I want everybody that's retired to be out of the game.
Right.
Now-
Or like if there's trades, I don't want to have to manually do them like that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
now there's some rosters you download
if
and
you're
stuff.
within about 2 years of the newest one that's come out, you're fine. Maybe if you get about 3 years old, then it's like, okay, now it's time to get a new one.
Right.
But
And
just
then
in
you
general,
download new stuff.
that is the one game I would buy the second it came out.
I would, I wouldn't.
I don't.
And they're
honestly,
like-
I don't even care what the dollar amount was. If they were like it's $100, I'm going to go drop $100 at it.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know what the dollar amount would be where I would say no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if there's a dollar amount that I'd say no.
They had a good dynasty mode, like because we're recruiting and
Could
stuff
you
like
imagine
that.
online dynasty with all your buddies with college football?
That'd be fun. I'm sure they had it back
Recruiting
then.
against everyone? Yeah, but
See,
not
but,
the way
no,
it would be now.
the thing that was different now is like online games were a thing back. What was the last?
not
What was the
that
last
big.
one they made? 2013, 14.
14, I think, yeah.
But just like wasn't accessible. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
fast enough. It wasn't like now it's like anybody could do it.
Right.
Imagine what an online game would be like. An online dynasty with freaking 10 of your buddies.
Where you're recruiting against each
And you're
other.
recruiting against each other
You're just
and
all
stuff.
one conference worth of teams or something like that.
How
Something like
amazing
that.
would that be?
So sick.
I would really hope that if they did
format and
bring it
everything.
back, they would have the secondary commit date. You know how when you got a commit in the game, they would never decommit from your school.
Yeah.
I hope they would allow it to where you
I
could
never really
still
explored that option.
you could still
with the
recruit
game.
committed.
The
guys.
recruiting.
Yeah, I
Actually,
never really did that kind of stuff.
Did you not
That
do
is-
much?
I didn't really
much-
do much dynasty. That
Okay.
my brother loved that kind of
Gotcha.
stuff. But
That's
I just played exhibition.
Baffling to me.
You played
because that is
exhibition the entire time.
Yeah, it was just like, I
That
took
is
a game on. What two teams do I want do this time?
baffling because there's nothing better in any game ever created than recruiting in college sports.
Who were you recruiting?
You recruited all new high school kids that come to your
That's
school.
why we never did it. Is because when we played, like the main reason we liked to play was because I mean, you know this. When it comes to the game, like I like to play with like the realest possible thing. If we're dealing with high school players, they're not real high school players.
Then it was
They're made
funny
up.
because like when you first bought the game, it was all the like for example like Marcus Mariota and U of O, it would just be QB number 8.
Exactly.
But then the recruits would actually have like
Real names.
would have names.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
after a couple of years, you lose all your halfback number 12.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it'd become like
it fills with actual names,
Joe Knight. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Gosh, that game was everything.
And
That
that's the
game was
main
absolutely everything.
That's the main reason why they don't make one right now, right?
Well, yeah, it's because the you can't like sell the player's likeness or whatever without paying them or something like that.
Speaking of, that's my number one pet peeve right there. Whoever that guy is, he's a real McAsshole.
Oh, the guy that
The guy who got NCAA banned.
Oh,
My biggest.
I wonder. You know, I feel like we're too far.
Go ahead.
I feel like we're too far removed from the start of that I can truly say I remember how it started. You know,
You
now
can or you can't.
well, I mean, I know it stemmed from some guy saying players should be paid for me being in this game,
I do too.
but I don't know who it was. And it was probably some no-name dude.
My thing is like I thought they protected themselves specifically, and that's why Marcus Mariota
Was
for example,
QB number eight.
number 8 is because they didn't use his
Right,
name.
but
Yeah,
I think
but
I think it's like
he's
you
at
can.
that school and
I
he
think
has
it's
the
like
same number. Who cares?
yeah, I think it's like
You
no,
know?
I think it's like you can look at that guy and they designed his face and player
Yeah,
ability to be
yes.
him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, for example, like
Where's the line, though?
Jeremiah Masoli, who also was QB number 8. He had the long hair. He was short. He was like
Skin tone match.
Right,
Like they have
right.
like his specs from high school, how
Right.
old he is, all that stuff.
Yeah, they said where he was from.
See, I also thought that it was a cool feature that you could go and start in high school, at like the state playoffs of
Yep.
your high.
Yeah, I did that.
Thought that was kind of cool.
That was when you were like taking over.
or
a player,
yeah,
right?
same
Or
thing.
something
No,
like
no, it was like it was like
Create your own player.
yeah, but it wasn't called Create a Player. It was
No,
it was like
it was
My story.
Campus Legend.
Campus
Is that
Legend.
what it was?
There you go.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Road to Glory.
or the
Oh, that was one too. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they're both. I
Oh.
think they changed.
Road to
I
Glory.
think the one you're talking about, where you like start high school playoffs and then you pick your school.
Uh-huh.
I think that was Road to Glory.
What position
Okay.
would you guys always be?
I was usually halfback.
I was
or
usually
QB.
yes, running back, and if I wasn't running back, then I was gonna be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were one of those two.
But
right?
you always ventured out,
Right.
and you tried receiver, but it was
No,
just
no,
less,
no, no.
less
I always
fun.
tried to be a safety.
I tried to be that too, but it was so hard.
Really?
Safeties and corners and stuff.
It's
are
also a little bit
so
more
hard.
boring.
It's way too hard.
You know?
It's just so hard. Dude.
But you still get the numbers though.
Yeah, you'd still get picks and stuff,
Yeah.
and somehow, and every time you get one, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm such a baller."
But it's
I
because,
got
like,
burnt so much though.
Same.
I would
It's-
I was the epitome of a guy.
Not
Oh no, like
yeah,
who,
you guys line up for
who was the
formation, you're just not
corner?
doing it.
Who Asante Samuel? I was the Asante Samuel of college
No
football.
way.
Just going
Asante
for
Samuel
highlights.
was the epitome of a guy who would get a pick six, and he would lead the league with 12 interceptions one year, but he would also give up the biggest, or like 8 of the longest plays in the NFL that year. And they'd be like, "How'd that happen?" And he'd be like, "Well, he bit on a corner route and then stopped running, and the guy was wide open down the field." But what are some other big pet peeves? Like pet peeve. Like that guy right there. That's like one of my big pet peeves. He was selfish. He ruined everything for everyone right there. You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Oh, I'm not in the game. My name's not in the game." Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like that guy's a real.
Yeah.
That guy's an
Oh,
asshole.
it was a player that made that
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
an
no, it was a
ex-player.
player. It was a player.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, dude, you got to
Real
speak
McAsshole,
up. You got to speak up and ruin it for everybody.
Oh, I thought it was just a guy.